some of the fear that has come up in some of these articles are around because the technology is developing so quickly and it's only, I'm going to assume, only going to get better and sophisticated with time. There are these stories about they're turning to AI as their friend, a woman, they're using as their therapist, a woman created an AI boyfriend and is fully in love with this boyfriend, even though she's married. And so, you have to wonder at what point will it, can it replace the human experience?
Um, I think we asked ourselves these same questions when social media came on the scene, right? At what point do virtual friendships and Facebook communities replace meeting people in real person, forming those authentic connections? And the truth is, it it does replace a large portion of this need for many people, but it doesn't eliminate it completely, right? People do crave authenticity. It is valuable, but it's a luxury. And it's a luxury that we might not all have, right? Um, you know, Social media has been I'd say one of the big success stories for social media is really helping people in marginalized communities find a supportive community that they might not have otherwise encountered in the real world, right? And so, by extension, AI is another one of those enabling technologies that, yeah, actually connecting with the therapist, it's healthcare. It's expensive. Insurance is involved. There is a risk of, like you are far more likely to have your medical records get lost in a data breach than I would say even OpenAI is likely to lose something, let alone a Google or a Microsoft or an Amazon,
Mhm.
right? So, there's a real risk there. It is healthcare, but just being able to talk to an AI about something because you don't have the luxury of having close friends, right? It's good that it's available as an option, but also just like with social media, yeah, we as a society are going to see both extreme stories of where this is really destructive, right? Where, people who were struggling with some mental health challenges were enabled by a machine who roughly was programmed to please and trained to please and agree and be agreeable, as opposed to step back and realize, wait a minute, this person wants to do something horrible to themselves. I should not agree to this,
Mhm.
right?
It will offer an option. One might argue an inferior option, maybe not, but it will offer an option to people. But the prediction is not that it will wholesale get rid of human therapists or human salespeople or human coaches or human whatever, right?
It will not get rid of them. It will change what's expected of them.
Uh-huh.
It will, if you think about it also, like AI still require training,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're a therapist, possibly the smartest thing to do is not worry about your ability to individually carry on therapy sessions with people going down because those people are turning to AI instead. What you should be doing is learn about how AI works and go see if you can join an AI therapy company so that you can take your expertise in your practice and have it via AI become accessible to a bigger audience, right? Think of it as a way to multiply yourself out.
Couldn't there be a scenario where they use that therapist's likeness and all of the things and learn the way they conduct therapy and create something that is similar and puts that person out of business?
So I think this is where, you could fear that if you believe that the field of therapy is done. There's nothing new to learn. But I don't think any of us believe that, right? Like we're constantly discovering new things. We're constantly learning what's the best way to provide therapy. What are ways to have good interventions? Like the field is evolving, and this is where if you're a therapist who learned everything you need to learn from school and then promptly stopped keeping up with the literature, keeping up with modern society, you don't know how to engage with the challenges of social media, right? And what it's doing to people, and you can't talk about that with people, and you thought you would continue to have a great practice. Yeah, you are we're going to pick your brain dry, and then you're going to be out of business. But if you're staying on top
Mm.
of what's happening in society, if you're pushing the edge, if you're learning new things, you can be the person teaching the AI, right? You like it will it all AI products will also have to evolve or die. They can't they can't remain stagnant any more than people can remain stagnant.
You work with it, learn it, see it as an assistant, and that will keep you relevant and ahead and continue to be useful and not replaceable. It also reminds me when you were saying earlier about how the when social media first came out, how people questioned that and virtual relationships. This reminds me of the pandemic when everyone was online and they were like, well, this is great. And we can Zoom and that's fine. And I can wear pajama pants all day. And then after a while, people said, ooh, I actually really want to see someone in person. Like, I need to see a human. And so one can draw a parallel there too.
Yeah, I do think people crave authenticity and human connection. You cannot cut it off completely.
Mhm.
And you know, the most successful technologies are ones that enable that, right? Like social media was successful because it facilitated human connections. And I think much of the decline in popularity of social media and in the general society's perception and attitude towards social media has been seeing the human connections getting replaced with machine generated content. Am I talking to a bot? Was this posted by a meme or like was this meme posted by a company as opposed to a real person? Was this comment generated by a real person or not? Right? Like that's, you know,
Right.
and that's driving people to kind of disengage
Yeah.
from that and focus on more local in-person things where they know the authenticities are because they see the person they're talking to.
Right. So I think the moral of the story is use it with caution, but use it, learn about it, stay ahead, keep yourself informed to stay relevant and, don't be smart about it. Don't fear it, embrace it in a certain way, but know its limitations as well.
Exactly. And remember that other people are using it and remember the implications of other people using it, right? Yeah, the productivity expectations have gone up, right? You're not going to get the brownie points for doing busy work anymore if somebody else is doing it 10 times faster. You know, you can't just trust a random blurb you see from somebody who you don't know that sounded factual. You have to do the next level of due diligence, right? You have to treat AI in its current form as an unreliable partner, a starting point
Right.
to help you,
Yeah.
but not just blindly trust it as always being correct.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for all of that. That was super interesting and very enlightening in a lot of ways. And it's giving me definitely some things to think about. So I really appreciate your time and your thoughts on this.
You're welcome.